We continue our reading of the Bushman's Guide, and we're reading today Droving. This is page 14 through 16. If we were asked what men could most fittingly stand as a symbol of Australian life, the most general reply would probably be the drover. Australia possesses approximately 14 million cattle and 100 million sheep, and some of the biggest sheep and cattle stations in the world. Although now being increasingly displaced by the cattle transport, the drover appears in every state of the Commonwealth and travels over tens of thousands of miles of stock routes, including some of the loneliest on Earth. Nobody can estimate how much Australia owes to its drovers who live perhaps the hardest and roughest life of all. Yet how little is generally known of droving is illustrated by the fact that a film of the inland was criticized because dogs were not shown working with drovers in cattle country. Many people did not realize that, while dogs are invaluable to sheep drovers, it takes horsemen to look after bullocks on a journey. But in either case, it is the drover who controls the mob. Neither the sheep nor the cattle have any idea where they are going or what their fate will be. They go because they are driven. They move along with the crowd and are not able to make their own destination, the way of the world. In this respect, they are like the masses of men and women moving along the roads of life, human beings with the highest intelligence and the noblest powers. Allow themselves to be enticed or driven onward with the crowd, giving no thought to their destiny. The road and the crowd around them fill their vision. What lies at the end of the journey is something about which they do not care to think. Live for today and do as others do might well be the motto of sheep and cattle, and of the majority of men and women as well. Take, for example, the men who drink, wasting their money and ruining their lives. There may be various causes driving men to drink, but is it not usually that others go this way and they must go too? They have no strength to stand against the crowd. Also, if the majority are doing certain things, well, they must be right. So these men go as sheep to the slaughter and allow themselves to be dragged along without resistance. Everybody knows that very few gamblers win in the long run. Most gamblers are losers. Yet the gambling fever grips them and they cannot stop even though money and possessions are gone. Character is undermined and often enough the home is wrecked in the process. A group of men, evidently bookmakers, were standing looking towards the crowd assembled for a race meeting. "What a lot of fools these people are," remarked one of them. "They think the horses are run for their benefit." In the boxing profession, the few succeed while the majority gain little or nothing but disfigured faces, ruined bodies, and stunted minds. It has been said that the boxing profession drips with innocent blood, the blood of fools. A boy is urged on by flattering men who tell how game he is. He goes on until at last he is punch drunk and a physical wreck, a sacrifice to the greed and lust of others who will even discard and forget a champion when his heyday is past. These are only examples of the ways of the world as any man can experience of any experience knows. There is nothing gained by going with the crowd. And where is the crowd going? It is certainly not going towards God. It is moving away from Him. It is heading for everlasting ruin. The road is wide and easy, and there is plenty of company. It is the broad road, and all the more deceiving on this account. It is a downward slide, not an upward climb. The only other road is represented as the narrow way, Matthew 7:13 through 14. There are comparatively few on this road, but it is the best way after all, and it leads to no disappointment in the end. The world puts on a dazzling show at first, but it is a deception, and never can really satisfy or fulfill its promises in the long run. On the other hand, God does not hold out any false allurements, nor does he mock any man. Again and again we are warned that the way of life leads through many troubles and testings. But God does promise that if we walk in his way, he will bring us safely through all of life's troubles until at last we reach the home where the storms will be left behind forevermore. It is for us to decide which way we want to go. To God be the glory.